I don't put bumper stickers on Ferraris.
So what if I don't like peanut butter? Sue me.
What's going on, everybody? We are live. It is Thursday, the creepy waves. Welcome to the show, everyone. Beard Talk with Kyle and Joe. The show is Beard's Life, everything in between. We got a good one. We are not consistent every Thursday, every week anymore, but we have a great show for you. We have a special guest. Joe, how are you, sir? I see people are just piling in, so we'll give it a few minutes.
I'm doing good, man. I was kind of thinking about this earlier as I was setting everything up. We're like, when it comes to the beard stuff now and the streams, we're like that itch that you can't scratch, that we just don't go away. You know, we come as we please, you know, but we're like always around, you know.
Nice.
So,
I was going to say like a lunar eclipse, like you don't see it often, but when you do, it's always special.
no, we're way more annoying like an itch. Yeah. Yeah.
So
but yes,
I saw a few new names. I think they're new, which was cool, but
new or we just don't remember because we're not consistent.
Probably.
Anymore.
Yeah, probably. But Travis Tyler, Nick H, what's up, guys? Bloombeards.
What's up, John?
Love a good creepy way. Hey, John. What's up, buddy?
Nick H in the house.
Daniel the Bearded. What's up, man? Bruce City's here. Vato. Philip A. Is Philip A new here? I think that sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar.
So, but yeah,
either way, what's up, Philip?
Yeah, hello, Philip. Either way, sir.
Yeah, Diablo. What's up? Good to see you guys. I know you guys don't get to see us too often anymore, so it's always good to see you. If you guys, as always, can do us a favor, if you have some access to Instagram or something, why don't you guys put up a little sum, let the world know that we are currently live. As Kyle said, we have something very cool today. We are not going to waste much more time, but as you guys saw earlier this week, we are doing a little sum with Damn Yankee Beard Company tonight, as he has a couple somewhat newer scents being released. It's new to all you guys, but he will tell the story on that here once we bring him on. But yeah, if you guys can go ahead and let the peeps know that we are live, we would love to get as many people in here as we can. But without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and bring our special guest, none other than Pete from Damn Yankee Beard Company. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody. I don't know about special, but I appreciate it.
Special to us, Pete. It's all that matters.
Right.
Oh, you guys.
Yes. How you doing, man?
You know, we're doing good. It's it's getting into that time of year where you kind of take it day by day, whether you're going to get hit by tornadoes or not. But we're taking it a day at a time. You know, you guys get it up there too, I think, though. But
I would say like once or twice a season.
Part of the gig. But we're doing good. We're doing good. We just, we're kind of quiet in the early part of 2022, and so hey, what's going on there? We kind of quiet the first part of the year, and so we're just kind of bringing some things online now, and this is one of the things that I wanted to kind of get going before the summer, because we have some separate things planned for the summer as well, and I wasn't sure, exactly where to stick these two, but so we're here and we're doing it.
Right on.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So let's just go right into it. So we have two different scents. As you can see, the names scrolling down. If you have Instagram, you can see the pictures that we posted. But we are releasing none other than Texan AF and Viking AF, and this is part of your AF series, correct?
It is.
Yes.
There was also a Christmas AF that was a seasonal that I've done a couple of times.
Yes, that made my top Christmas scents list.
Nice. And So there may be some in the future, not sure, but I just kind of wanted to group these two together and kind of see what people think of them. These are ones that they've actually been out for a while locally here, but have not been like widely released. So this will be a first.
What's up, Allie?
Hey, Allie. So when you tell us more, so you said locally released?
Well, locally, like regionally, I should say. So I have one and only one commercial client, and that is my buddy Derek, who is he owns and runs True Barber Shop, which is in a town called Taylor, Texas. Taylor, Texas is just kind of northeast of the Austin area, but it's still, gets a little bit of that Austin weirdness by osmosis. So it's kind of a funky little town. But Derek's been with me since almost the beginning. And, like I was saying earlier, we're coming up on our 4-year anniversary next month. In fact, we'll be doing an anniversary scent for that as well. Just got that finalized today. But so 4 years next month. He's been with me almost all of that time. And so we did a couple of kind of private label scents for him. And they were
Metal Chef.
Hey, and that's these two. And I mean, he likes kind of strong. There's nothing really subtle about him as a person. So these scents are very much the way he is. They're just kind of big and bold and right in your face. So
yeah,
that's where those started.
Let's dive into the scent profile. I'm sure everybody's anxious to know. And I know, did you post earlier what the scent profiles were?
Yeah, I did. I posted this morning just a couple of pictures of what those are, and so they're very Yankee scents, I would say. They're very very much in the wheelhouse of what we typically do. So
yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So let's start off with Texan AF.
Yeah.
And we have, so in this profile, you have oak barrel, whiskey, and vanilla. So 3 profiles, but 3 profiles that have the ability to be very loud. And I would say that would be the case for this one. I'll just dive right into, I think the oak, I love oak and vanilla together, because oak almost kind of has like a vanilla woody smell to it already. So they really elevate each other, quite well. And then whiskey just always adds like a nice, obviously boozy, but a nice spice to it. I really like how this is balanced out. For somebody who's not big on a lot of like alcohol based scents, I still thought this one was pretty enjoyable. I really like it, as like a weekend wear. I don't think I could wear it to work, but I really like it, for the weekend. I really like the punch that it really packs on that.
Yeah, I tried not to make like too strong of an alcohol note, because I mean, I know that that's not something that everybody necessarily digs. So I just kind of used it to sweeten things up a little bit. What I usually order from Whataburger. So I was heartbroken about a year ago when they discontinued the Monterey Melt. That was my go-to. Well, actually, I should say I have 2 go-tos. Monterey Melt, for those of you who are not in Whataburger land, Whataburger Melt was basically a cheeseburger with like sauteed peppers and onions on it. So
how bad could that be?
But what Whataburger is known for are taquitos, right? Like breakfast tacos. And I'm a musician, so I've been having like 3 a.m. Whataburger taquitos for like 30 years. So Whataburger is an institution around here, and I couldn't think really of anything more Texan than Whataburger, so that's where the came from.
I thought so. Whataburger is mainly Texas area. Texas, southwest region. We're born and raised in Cleveland. I thought it was a strictly like burger fry joint. I didn't even know they had tacos. I mean, I've never even seen a Whataburger. So, but that was my impression.
Yeah, by and large, it is a burger and fry joint, but it's one of those things, and I don't know if there's an equivalent, there, but it's like something that is uniquely, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're starting to, share it with the rest of the world. So it's kind of not our thing anymore. But yeah, so the whiskey, I do a lot of alcohol notes, probably more than I should because I know a lot of people don't like them. I try and keep this one minimal, just so that you don't walk around smelling like booze all day. But
yeah, I definitely think the oak barrel is the star of the show for sure. You got that. You got that Texas oak. We were talking through DM the other day. Post oak is so big when it comes to Texas style barbecue, which I love. Obviously I've never been to Texas, but I love the just salt, pepper, post oak aspect of it.
Yeah,
simple, and all you really need to do is let the smoke take its course, and
there you go,
do its thing. So
it's an interesting place. I mean, it's a very multicultural place. So barbecue is part of our food culture. Tex-Mex is a huge part of our food culture. There's also a large, Southeast Asian population in Texas, particularly kind of down on the coast. It's really funny. There's not any one particular thing Texas is, but when you kind of mix it all together, that's kind of the vibe that we get here. So
nice. Yeah, the barrel and the vanilla calm it down a lot. Now, Joe, I want to get your take on this, and Pete, of course. When you smell it out of bottle, I pick up more of that whiskey, that alcohol, but it calms down within 5 minutes in beer for me. But it's funny how that's different for everybody. Do you guys get that as well?
Yeah, no, I can see that because I get the spice from the whiskey. When I take a good smell out of there, but yeah, in beard, the vanilla really starts to shine more, and then the oak barrel, like while the vanilla and the whiskey kind of like take turns, in your beard, I feel like the oak barrel is always there, and I like that. And that's what makes it the star for me.
So, we're going to throw it out there to the masses, and we'll see what people think and go from there. I should mention, I realized as I was coming into this live that I don't have the collection live on the website yet. So as soon as we're done with this live stream, I'll get everything up and running and post on Instagram right after we're finished up here. So
cool. Yeah, so make sure you guys hop on that right after the stream if you guys are interested.
Yeah.
So Joe, do you want to dive into the second one here? The Viking AF.
Yeah. So first and foremost, the artwork on this is awesome.
It's so good. Good.
It is everything that you would want in a Viking themed scent. I love the darkness to it. I love the awesome Viking that you have here, which happens to be your buddy that you were talking about, correct?
Yeah, that's Derek right there on the label. So he's and hopefully, I don't know if he's in here, but so he's a giant man. I mean, he's probably 6'5". He may correct me later, but 6'5", 6'6". Anyway, he's a punk rocker who's into like hot rods. And he also just happens to do like Viking reenactment stuff. So he's a well-rounded individual. But so there's a Viking festival in Texas every year that I think really is just an excuse to go camping and drink.
It sounds like it.
But so he wanted, and he had a booth out there last year. I think it was in, oh man, I want to say October. Anyway, one of the few months that's actually okay to go outside here. And so they did a booth there, and we did that set for it. And so that's kind of where it started. It actually, the roots of this actually started last summer. I was developing this at the same time I was doing a scent called Lover's Rock, if you remember that one.
Oh, great scent. Love it.
From last summer, the one that had like
Yeah.
fucking like 18 different things in it. And it was originally going to be like a pirate themed, Yar matey kind of thing. And I abandoned that pretty early on just because the pirate thing is kind of hopefully done in the beer community. But I had this idea in my head of like, okay, well, what would it actually smell like if you were there? And I'm like, well, it would smell like wood from the boat. It would smell like the ocean. It would smell like who knows, probably BO, some other things. I don't know, but I wanted to try and paint a mental picture of what it might have actually smelled like. So
Yeah. So I see Emo in here, and Emo will absolutely
Yes.
love this because the scent profile is spruce, cedar, sea salt, and leather. The leather in this is absolutely outstanding. Emo, this is a true leather scent, in my opinion. Although the spruce plays so nicely with it. And we were talking a little bit about that in the green room. I really love this scent. I am a big leather fan. I do love a good darker scent, and this is a scent that would be right up my alley on that aspect. I think you nailed the leather. The spruce was a brilliant idea to mix with it. I think the sea salt is a very nice, subtle touch that it's one of those things where you may not notice the sea salt while it's in your beard, but if it wasn't in there, you would notice that it's missing.
right.
And the cedar, I think you cover that aspect in regards to making it resemble like a Viking ship. This is a scent that paints a very good picture and a story for what you were going for and who your buddy is, and that's great.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Diablo, everything tonight is going to be full line. So Sterling, original blend, butters, balms, co-wash, beard wash, all of that. So yes, if you wanna wash your beard with a Viking scent, I'm your guy.
Yeah. I'm traditionally not a leather guy.
Mm.
I was crazy about the scent.
Nice.
I wore Texan AF twice, and I wore this the rest of the time. This might be my favorite leather scent. What is it called? Spruce that's in here?
Yeah.
Right. Joe really nailed it. Remarkably done because when I smelled it, I'm like, there's something else. Like the leather is toned down and tells a story too much. There's something hidden in here, and it's definitely the spruce. But you nailed it. Like when you smell this and then look at the picture, like it matches perfectly. And I know that's what you were trying to do. But I was super impressed with this because I'm just not a leather guy. I think too much like the Fonzie with his like black leather jacket. I know that sounds funny. It's not a bad smell. It's just not something I want to smell constantly. But this is a different take on leather. I was really impressed with it, honestly.
Oh, well, thanks. It's again, it's one of those things that I don't use a lot only because it just I can't get it to really play well with others. Sterling blend is argan oil, kukui nut oil, broccoli seed oil, and castor oil. So yeah, that's the one. Believe it or not, it's been over a year now that's been out. Hard to believe, but
and your Sterling blend is great. And for people who don't know what the Sterling blend is, it's designed. I mean, not designed just for gray beards, but if you have a gray beard, this is the kind of profile and an ingredient list that you would really want to aim for. It's on the thicker side, with that castor, and it just soaks really well into somebody who has like a red beard, a gray beard, white beard. I love it. It's really good. It's a toss up between your other blend and this.
Yeah.
Really, really well done.
Well, thank you. It's something that I had some help on.
No E-Rock. I see you hiding behind a different name. They call me E.
Call me E. It's funny.
No.
Yeah. So, there were a couple of us that were working on it at the end of 2020, and the original blend is still around. But to be honest with you, Sterling outsells the original blend easily 4 or 5 to 1 at this point.
Wow.
So I don't know that I'll ever get rid of the original blend, but we don't really sell a lot of it anymore. So
I feel like it'll be one of those things. Is like if you get rid of it, you're gonna start getting more people ask for it.
probably.
That's just how it works,
But
what's
one of the main difference I think that I've noticed with Sterling over the original blend is just that it lasts longer, right? Like you can put Sterling in, and that night, next morning, you can still feel the effects of it. There's Derek.
We have a tall man sighting.
Yeah.
Derek, we need to know.
Derek,
how tall are you, sir?
Yeah, we heard you can be as tall as 6'7". Can you confirm your height?
I'm 6'2". I would like to meet you.
Okay.
You know what's
I'm
funny?
5'6". I would like for you to pick me up and carry me around.
What's funny about the Sterling blend? Other blends are like this too, and I don't want anyone listening to take this the wrong way. Personally, when I have oil in my hand and I'm just rubbing it together, thank you, Casey. What feels really good in your hand, which really means nothing, is thinner oils. So when I rub the Sterling blend in my hand, I'm like, man, is this going to soak into my beard? Not that it's that thick. It's just a little dense. And then when you get that in your skin and in your beard, it just takes over. Lights out. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't used castor oil before, and it's only because down here especially, it gets really uncomfortably hot in the summer.
Right.
And you don't really want some like thick, sticky stuff in your beard. And so it was the first time I've used it. And if it gives you an idea, the proportion of castor that's in that blend is something on the order of, it's definitely single digits, probably 6 or 8%.
I was just gonna say I would guess a couple drops per 1 ounce bottle.
In a 16 ounce batch of Sterling, castor makes up 1 ounce of that. So I can't do math in my head, but whatever that percentage is.
Yeah, I really like Ken's comment here. Thicker oils feel tacky in hand, but amazing in beard. Yeah, if you could get through that mental aspect of it and allow it to take its course in beard, I think more people will be pleasantly surprised. I think some people, when they put a thicker oil in their hand and they're rubbing it around, I think sometimes you get that initial turn off there, but a lot of times, you'll get a good turnout as long as it's blended well. I mean, there's a few oils out there that are like motor oil thick that there's just nothing my beard wants to do with. But
to be fair, guys, when I say that, keep in mind, being reviewers, we try a lot of beard oil, a lot. So I have a ton to compare to. So when I say a little thicker in hand, the average Joe, no pun intended, would be like, this isn't thick in hand at all. Like it's just, I can just feel that castor just a little dense in the hand. So I don't want you to think in hand it's like grease or anything like that.
We never like agree on viscosity anymore either.
Ever. I know. It's I don't know how, by the way. We never do. Like for example, just some other big companies like Fable, you'll be like, it's thick. I'm like, no, it's not thick at all. I don't get that.
Even though 90% of people label that as thick.
Yeah. Now, do you feel Sterling is on the thicker side, Joe?
What was that?
Do you think Sterling is on the thicker side?
I mean, it is, but it's not I would say it's on that upper echelon of a medium thick, but into the thick.
Gotcha. I put it 1 notch above medium on the way to thick, but that's the way I like it, because I feel those, the thin oils may be the sexy ones, but these oils like Sterling keep my beard the way I want it for 10, 12 hours throughout the day. And Pete touched on that. So everyone's beards, that's like arguing your favorite color, you know?
Yeah. How do you describe the Sterling blend, Pete?
For me, it's if I'm being super honest, just for me personally, it's a little bit thicker than I would like. But I mean, that's just being super honest. But I don't necessarily make it just for my own personal preference.
Thank you, Adam.
But yeah, I mean, I would prefer it a little bit thinner. But I think overall, the results I think speak for themselves. To be really honest with you, I've been Fuster Cluck, man. That goes back. Oh, that's Cam. That's why it goes back a couple of years.
Yeah, Cam.
I've really been blown away by the response to Sterling, because it didn't take off immediately, and I was like, this thing's kind of bombing. But in the last 6 or 8 months, it's really taken off, and it sounds cheesy to say it, but I'm really happy that I was able to put something out there that that people are using and liking, and it's really satisfying as a maker to put something out that people are enjoying. So
yeah, it's not hard to feel a non-quality beard oil. Sterling really gets the job done. I never have issues. I have a thick beard. I'm a big guy, and when a beard oil, even if it is a quality oil, just doesn't work in my beard, I feel like I have like jelly in my beard when it's hot, Sterling doesn't do that for me at all. It really feels nice. But Emo says that we're hating on, what do you say? Oh, we're thickness haters. We like it thick. We like it thick. Don't worry. See, 3 people back forth was like, Fable's thick, Fable's not thick. So everyone's different on that.
Everyone's
right.
And that's one of those things that makes it hard as a maker, because mean, opinions do vary so wildly that somebody who really likes this blend, they're going to find 10 other people who don't.
Excuse me.
It's really hard. It's really hard to know. It's really hard to know what to do. And,
so
I was saying this to my wife the other day. So I don't really get a lot of feedback. You would think that I would be getting a ton of feedback on, hey, your product sucks, your product's great. And I mean, most of what I hear is positive feedback, but I that doesn't really, as much as I love that doesn't really help me as a creator, because I don't really ever hear from people who don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's not an invitation for people to like it.
I was just going to say, careful what you wish for.
Right.
So, but I don't get as much feedback as you would think about the stuff that we put out. So
yeah,
it's kind of just a shot in the dark. So
yeah. Well, I'll I don't know if we've talked about this, but I remember, because we were late to trying Damn Yankee and really getting to
big time late.
Really getting to know you and getting to know your company. When I first got into the beer stuff and first started hearing about Damn Yankee, I kind of attached the tobacco label to you. And initially that was kind of the reason why I had waited. But then as we started to finally start talking and, getting some of your products and stuff, that obviously wasn't the case at all. You have done a decent amount of tobacco scents, but the scents that are not tobaccos are really good. So I think you've really you've expanded, you're and becoming a little bit more eclectic with your scents.
Yeah. I mean, if anything is our niche at this point, it's doing stuff that people are like, wait, what? And that's kind of and hopefully this summer will be no different. But I mean, we did a lot of tobacco scents early on, and that's why I've been really hesitant to do any more. I mean, I've got one more left waiting in the wings. That's going to be hopefully pretty spectacular, but that may be it in terms of, just because, I mean, I think the ones that we have a really solid track record behind them, right? So we've got Pawpaw's Chair, which is tobacco and leather. We've got Cedar Tobacco Vanilla. We've got Pipe Dream, which is tobacco, orange and vanilla, which nobody thought would work, but somehow anyway. So we got a couple more that I forget off the top of my head, but
You used to have Pipe Bomb, right?
yeah, Pipe Bomb.
And that was like your biggest seller at one point, wasn't it?
It's yeah, I mean not as much anymore, but yeah, and for the first couple of years, that was our big seller.
Yeah.
That one came out right at 3 years ago, I guess. And then of course we've got a collab with Scott on Panama, which is Cuban tobacco and cedar. But so yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a while, the last year or so, that I wasn't going to do another one, just because for that reason you mentioned, I don't want to be the tobacco guy, because that kind of shoots me out of the water for people who don't like tobacco scents. So I'd like to think I can do other stuff.
Yeah.
So
and you have a sneaky good barbershop. I love your barbershop.
Yeah. Very classic. Very classic.
I was, and that was one of the scents we launched with. So I mean, that one's been around for a while, and I said for the longest time that was the closest we were ever going to have to a cologne scent, but that's actually not true. So our 4-year anniversary is coming up in about a month, and I decided to do an anniversary scent. So somebody commented a while ago on Fuster Cluck, which was our second anniversary scent 2 years ago. That was the one that had basically Fuster Cluck was elements of all of our launch scents combined into one. And then we hydro dipped the bottles. So that was 2 years ago. And so I think I've kind of railed on cologne scents the last few years, just because I think they're kind of a cop out. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and do like a true honest to God cologne scent for our anniversary.
Nice.
So that'll be here like first week in June. And
sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I ran across a blend that reminded me of something that I would have worn in high school, a million years ago. So yeah, I decided that we're just going to go ahead and do that just for something kind of fun, and just because I said I never would, and I should never say never, because here we go.
Yeah.
Let me throw two things at you, then we're going to do our first giveaway. First of two, guys.
Answer Ryan's post first.
Yeah, so we've got two. We've got Texan AF, which is oak barrel whiskey and vanilla. Emphasis on vanilla, I think, there. And then the second one, Viking AF, is spruce and cedar essential oils, along with leather and sea salt. So it's got a little yar in there.
Yeah. So this is what, if you guys have not tried Damn Yankee, this might help. If you have, maybe you'll agree with me. We've tried a lot of companies, like we said. Damn Yankee, the first one, we were late to the game, no question. But the first one that I think we both tried, Joe, was Pipe Bomb. I'm traditionally not a tobacco scent, and I read the scent profile, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. And then I smelled it, and I'm like, huh, and then I wore it, and I'm like, it's good.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't stop wearing it after that. Like you take like this one, like Viking AF. I'm not a leather guy. I love this scent. You have a way, like if you're looking for something a little different scent wise, that's a little spunky. Like I think Pete's your guy. Pipe Bomb is just such a different spin on tobacco. It's just not the traditional like what do we see a lot, like down in Miami, like Cubans, like Cuban cigar tobacco. That's what Damn Yankee reminds me of. You do different things with scents, and I think that's what you're after. Like every time you describe a scent, I hear you saying or trying to say, when I picture a Viking or when I picture this is the scent that I think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. So the thing is, it's getting increasingly difficult to do something different. There's so many companies out there it's getting hard to do something different than everybody else is doing. So that's why for me, it's almost necessary to go super far outside the box and do something that people are like, well, huh, what? Just because, whether, if it bombs or if it does great, you're going to remember it either way.
Your Christmas scents were a good example of that.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean,
yeah, they were weird, straight up weird, but really good.
The company that made a weed scented Christmas scent before, but there you go.
Yeah.
So second part. Go ahead, Pete. Did I cut you off?
That is still on the website, by the way. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
talk to me about. So I love all butters. I truly do, but I cannot get over a good whipped butter. Your butter, I consider a whipped, but I consider it a hybrid. And I still think that's where you, again, to the point I was making before, that's where you stand out. If you don't mind, talk to us about your butter. And if you can, share how it's truly, again, in my opinion, a hybrid. Like, is it actually whipped or none of my damn business?
No, I mean, as I've said from the beginning, I mean, I'm not doing anything that no one else could do. I sat at my kitchen table in early 2018 and Googled beard oil, and that's how it started. And with a Google search, so the butter it really couldn't be any simpler. It's the same carrier oil blend, the original carrier oil blend, which is jojoba, coconut, sweet almond, argan, broccoli seed, just in different proportions than Sterling, but and then some refined shea butter, and that's all it is. And it's yeah, I feel a little weird because I know there's a lot of companies out there that have 14 different kinds of butter, and one of them is some rare tree at the top of a mountain that's grown on a monastery, and monks that haven't spoken in 20 years are harvesting this butter. But
climb Mount Everest to get the ingredients.
Yeah, it's nothing exotic. It's just refined shea butter, and it's the reason it's refined, of course, is because I didn't want it to have that kind of funky shea butter smell.
Yes.
If you've ever had raw shea butter, it's not bad. It's just kind of weird, and it's basically impossible to get a scent over that.
Yeah.
And keep
very
it
distracting.
So that's one of my biggest turnoffs with butters. Any butter that has that, I will critique it and take it to my grave until they fix it.
Yeah,
it happens.
The secret sauce for me has mostly to do.
Wait, are we going back to talking about Whataburger? Sorry, I had to. Continue.
No. Man, you guys are gonna freak out when it gets up to Ohio, though. So you melt everything down. You get it to about 180 or so. And the trick to it is you get it as cold as you can, as fast as you can, right? Because if you don't, that's when it gets gritty. The reason you see gritty beard butters is because either they were cooled too slowly, like they were poured and just sat at room temperature until they solidified. The problem is that the amino acids in these butters solidify at different rates. All right, so there's not a uniform. There's like a half dozen or so amino acids in these that all solidify at different rates. So you get like little chunks of this over here, little chunks of this over here. So if you get it as cold as you can, as fast as you can, it helps you avoid that. So the secret for me is temperature. So I get it. It's melted down. I freeze it. I put it in the freezer. Depending on the size of the batch, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, to where it's not frozen solid, but it's not really a liquid anymore either. And then I hit it with a mixer, just to incorporate some air into it. But I mix it just long enough to lighten it up, and that's it. And I know right away if I've overdone it, and those batches get melted again and get redone. But yeah, literally just a few seconds with a mixer is all it takes.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I am down to, I used almost all, and I've given away to my buddy so he could try it, my pipe bomb butter.
Okay.
And now I am rocking, as far as your butter goes, I forgot the name. It's like a caramel corn scent. The carnival.
Corn.
Yes, kettle corn. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you, when I love using that is when I shower at night. I'll throw in some unscented beard oil and I'll throw that butter in. Man, I'll just sit on my pillow like,
and then you get hungry and go to bed hungry.
Right. Then at least me ordering some Whataburger.
That's one of those ones that, like, so yeah, no, to be really honest about it, kettle corn doesn't sell very well at all, and I think it's because if I didn't know better, if I looked at that and I'm like, wait a minute, you want me to put caramel popcorn in my beard? There's no way. And it really works. And I don't know why it works. It's just I have fun with it. And but yeah, I'll have to get you a Viking butter up there then. I'll start cranking those out probably early next week, and I'll get one up there. But yeah, so it's not a secret. It's just temperature and time, and hitting it with a mixer literally for just a few seconds, and that's it.
See, I was expecting something, something a little spicy where you're like, here's how I really get that texture, and you just keep it so simple.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's probably some science behind it that I'm just completely unaware of, but but yeah, no, it's nothing. It's nothing secret. It's and like I've said from the beginning, I mean, anybody. The only thing that I do that no one else can do is that I've got 4 years of trial and error under my belt. That's the only thing that separates me from anybody else. And I started literally from ground zero in 2018, and I screwed up a lot of batches, and I made a lot of scents that sucked and never saw the light of day. And that's the funny part that I think people don't know is, like, so right now I'm about to finish up stuff for summer, and in my bathroom there's probably 15 or 20 little cups of things that are all labeled. And out of those, maybe one might make the cut. We'll see. But it's just trial and error. And I know a lot of companies that outsource scents, and it's smart. It's smart because you're going to be getting a scent that was made by professionals. But that's just not me. I don't. When somebody gets something that we've done, I want it to be something that I labored over, something that I didn't just outsource to somebody in a cosmetology lab somewhere. I want it to be something that I actually sat and worked on.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, Casey, I'm not driving a semi now. It's when I redid this room, the desk is now in front of a window. So when it's light out, as it stays lighter in the summer, I don't want the sun coming in, so I have these blackout curtains. So yeah,
I noticed that Kyle is like on the bridge of the Enterprise or something. I'm not sure.
By now.
Yeah,
that's an amazing background.
Yeah, no, both of our backgrounds are totally different. Joe's in the same room at least, but we finished our basement this summer, and so for the last whatever years I've been filming in our like office / studio upstairs, but I don't get those texts from my wife anymore saying shut up, the baby's asleep, so I'm in the basement.
Right. There you go. Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things, we have some family that, we have some family in South Dakota and some other places. And it's always weird to me to go into people's basements because we don't have them here. They don't exist.
Like Florida.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a basement in Texas because our soil is too soft.
Right.
So, it's always weird to I visited my wife's sister, back around New Year's in South Dakota, and they've got this like amazing whole other house under the house, and I'm like walking down like a little kid, I'm like, this is amazing. We don't have them here. It's wild.
Yeah, being born and raised in Cleveland, like everyone, if you don't have a basement, that's super unique. Like those small ranches don't have basements, but it's great. You nailed it. It's like having your own apartment down there.
Absolutely.
So, Joe, should we do one of our 2 giveaways?
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't say our giveaways. They're Pete's giveaways. Sorry.
No, all good. All good.
Yeah, so we are doing giveaways, one of each of these scents in the Sterling Blend series. So let's give away Texan AF first. Let's do that first. And I do have the giveaway tools set up. Let me go ahead and share the screen. All right. So, as most of our giveaways go,
no video, Joe. No video.
Yeah.
That exhale was like, well, I wasn't going to, but I will now.
Well, I was going to explain the rules first and then do it. But
all right, go ahead.
No. There you go. You happy?
Thank you. I am.
Good.
You worked hard on those videos, man. Show them off.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. So yeah, we'll do hashtag Yankee in the chat. We'll go ahead and roll them in here in a little bit. So go ahead and do that right. Meow. Mom called collection. It doesn't matter how old you are, they still yell at you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I think my mom thought I was a lost cause a while ago, so I think she
Are you born and raised? Excuse me. Are you born and raised in Texas?
I was not born here. I was actually born in Chicago. And yeah, I've lived in Texas for a while. I've lived here since I was 5. Yeah. No, so that's where the name of the company comes from. Like, so my wife is a native Texan, and even though I've lived here for 45 years, is that right? Yeah, and some change, 46 years in Texas, because I wasn't born here. I'm still not legit. I'm not the real deal, not
right.
From here. Even though I was in Texas before she was on Earth. That's still not good enough. So that's where Damn Yankee came from. Originally, the company was going to be called Dirty Hippie. Thankfully, that one didn't make the cut.
I like.
Yeah, I'm glad you went with Damn Yankee.
So, no, Chicago, and then Indianapolis, and then here. Okay. I am actually. I say Dallas for people who aren't from Dallas. If you are from Dallas, then I'm actually from kind of North Fort Worth. I'm in a town called Watauga, which is kind of the, I don't know. I assume that there's a Cleveland equivalent of like kind of the trashy, like white trash suburb of Cleveland, with like, lots of, beat up cars in front yards, and that's where I'm at. So,
yeah, Parma, Ohio.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, Parma.
Yeah. But honestly, anymore, housing has gotten so crazy. I'm sure it's the same way there. That just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But so actually, north side of Fort Worth is where we are officially.
Sweet.
All right, let's go ahead and do this drawing. Good luck, everybody.
Chef is going to win. He always does.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Nice. Nicholas Z.
Okay.
Congratulations, Nick Z. You are the winner of Texan AF.
Sure.
Right. So Nick Z is the winner of Texan AF, like Joe said. Have Nicholas reach out to you on Instagram?
Yeah, that'd be great because I am probably going to forget. So yeah, DM me on Instagram and just tell me that you're the Texan AF winner, and I will get you from there.
Sweet. Very cool.
Yeah.
Someone asked, I think it was Mark, asked, are you a Cowboys fan?
Oh, well, see, that's the divisive question. Yes and no. More of a hockey fan, but it's hard to living in Dallas. You either love the Cowboys or you hate the Cowboys.
I can see that.
And
Sounds familiar.
yeah,
Being
yeah.
Browns fan.
I think it's more fashionable right now to hate the Cowboys than it is to like the Cowboys. But yeah, no, honestly, I'm more of a hockey guy.
Does Dallas have an NHL team?
Yeah. The
Like,
Stars.
Stars? Okay.
Yeah.
It's on my bucket list, and I keep talking about it more and more to get to an NHL game. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets. I live about 2 hours and 20 minutes from downtown Columbus. So I really got to make that happen. I hear the atmosphere is amazing, even if you're not a hockey fan.
Yeah, no, we stole the NHL team from Minneapolis like 20 years ago, and yeah, they came down here. But yeah, see, there you go. Can't stand the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dallas is a pretty good sports town, though. Like, we just had opening day, Major League Baseball here, so we've got the Rangers here, who are in the Dallas area. We've got, pick your poison. I mean, we've got pro soccer, we've got, who knows, all kinds of other stuff. As cliche as it is to say this, especially on the Fort Worth side, rodeo is still kind of a big deal here. Like bull riding, that kind of thing, which is a very Texas thing to say. But yeah, that's, believe it or not, still kind of a big deal here.
Favorite barbecue that you've had in Texas? Like, in the last 15-ish years, not,
Oh,
that might still be there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's easy. I mean, because it's Texas, so it's brisket. I mean, there is a place. There's a place in downtown Dallas called Pecan Lodge that makes a brisket that they slice, I swear to God, like a half-inch thick. It's amazing. It's like a roll steak. But yeah, no, here in Texas, it's brisket, it's sausage, it is beans and coleslaw and beer. That's
What about sauceless St. Louis ribs? Salt and pepper ribs. Not as much.
Yeah, ribs aren't really a thing here. I mean, you'll find them in every joint down here, but it's never really the star of the show.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for whatever reason, yeah, it's just like you can find pulled pork here the same as you can in the South, but it's just brisket's always been the star of the show in Texas, for whatever reason, just because we have that kind of cattle culture here that we can't quite seem to shake. Do
you like the flat or the point? Or are you like, what's the difference? What's that?
No, I mean, I know the difference. It's hard to say. I mean, I haven't eaten in a while. I'm actually vegetarian, but
you're a vegetarian?
Yeah. But
I had no idea.
Those exist in Texas?
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe your wife is onto something.
Yeah, she lost my mind. So
what's your wife's first name?
Amanda.
Amanda. I'm gonna guess she's not a vegetarian.
She's not.
Amanda, do you like the flat or the point from a brisket?
She may not be watching. I'm not sure. Whatever.
I thought she was like right behind you.
Whatever part burnt ends come from.
That's the point, the fattier end. Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
I'm a burnt ends guy, or I was.
Yeah.
So
how long?
The flat. Oh, she says flat.
So she likes more lean.
Yeah. Sweet. When people ask me that, I go, one slice of each, please.
Yeah.
I went vegetarian at 50, which is kind of weird because, I mean, I grew up eating Texas barbecue and Tex-Mex my whole life. And so, yeah, no, fairly recent development, but, it is what it is. So.
Is it going pretty well, or are you like dying over there?
Yeah, it's easier to eat that way now than it ever has been before.
Okay.
There's a lot more alternatives now than there used to be.
Mhm.
But yeah, the funny thing is, yeah, we do definitely have a barbecue culture here. So like every now and then, I'll be out back on the patio or something, doing something with the kids or whatever, and somebody will be, barbecuing like a couple houses over, and I'm just like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
And it's just so,
I wonder if they got some squash on there.
Yeah.
it's just not the same. It's not the same, and so. Yeah, and I mean, I've seen your post too, where you're doing these like gigantic pork loins and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, it looks amazing.
Did you see our prime rib that we just did
yeah.
together?
Yeah.
So good, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could, it's still not the same, but if you go to a good barbecue joint and you get, the baked beans are always amazing.
Mm.
You get some, vinegar slaw and some cornbread, dunk all that in a little barbecue sauce. You would still get considering you're not eating any meat, you would still get the barbecue swag a little bit,
Yeah.
Glass half full.
No, it's a good question. So, for whatever reason, as I got older, I just kind of got turned off by the idea of eating meat, and it just, I don't know, it's just something that happened a little bit over time. I don't know about for health reasons. I mean, I still eat a lot of crap also, but it's just a change that happened, and I decided just to go ahead and go with it. And it's what's the profile tag? Texan AF is oak barrel whiskey and vanilla.
Yep.
And the other one, the Viking AF, is cedar spruce, leather, and sea salt. So Nicholas, if that sounds more like your jam, feel free to pick either one. It's all good. But Austin, there you go.
No, seriously, I give you a lot of credit. I went vegetarian, and it's gonna sound funny, but this was an accomplishment. I made it 5 days.
When? What?
Yeah.
Probably about 4 years ago, my buddy Matt and I wanted to try it, and it was tough, man. Joe came over for the draft. We get together every year.
Yeah.
Man, we did breakfast sausage. We did homemade bratwurst, prime rib. Like, I'm just a carnivore. Yeah. So I respect you guys.
It's,
smoked cream cheese, though. That was delicious.
No, I totally get that. And like I said, I mean, I ate that way for, pretty much my entire life. So it's a fairly recent change. But yeah, it's most of the time it's okay. But like I said, every now and then, like I'm just, I'll go out to eat somewhere and something will come out of the kitchen and I'm just like,
Good for you, though.
So yeah, here it's barbecue, and it's also there's obviously a huge influence from Mexico in all of our culture here in Texas. Not only music and food and really everything. So it's one of the things that I will miss about Texas will be getting good Tex-Mex, because it's super easy here. It's a multicultural thing here, and someone was asking about that earlier, and we're all in it together down here, and so we coexist, and we eat each other's food, and we listen to each other's music, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pride from Texans. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's there's a lot to be proud of, and there's some things maybe not to be proud of right now, but
it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's politics are divided everywhere right now, not just here, but
right.
It's a cool place, and the thing about it is it's big enough that you can find your corner somewhere. You can find your people somewhere. If your people are weirdo hippies, go to Austin. If you're there's a culture, there's a corner for every culture in around here. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I really want to go to Texas. I really want to go to Salt
Goldie's.
Lick for
Yes.
barbecue and
Salt Lick.
Goldie's barbecue.
And isn't it, what's it? Snow? Something Snow barbecue? Real popular.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard to find good barbecue around here.
Right.
Fortunately, as big as we are, it's you could probably make a lifetime of it and still not catch it all. But
yeah, Joe and I would do a weekend trip and just hit up barbecue places 2-3 times a day and then fly home.
Yeah.
We love it that much.
There you go.
We should actually. It'll be fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, a place to look at would be around the Austin area, what we call Hill Country. The area around Austin is dotted with amazing barbecue joints. So yeah, that would be kind of the first place I would check out.
Nice.
Sweet.
Very cool. Maybe one day.
There you go.
Yep. All right. Well, we are just about out of time, but why don't we go ahead and do our last giveaway? Should we just do you want to just do like winner's choice between these 2 cents?
Yeah, let's do that. And because I know that, whiskey and oak may not be everybody's jam. So let's let them pick either of those.
Okay. Yep. So this next giveaway, before we sign off, your choice of either Viking AF or Texan AF. Let me just hit you guys one more time with the profiles. So for Texan AF, you got oak barrel, whiskey, and vanilla. And Viking AF, you got spruce, cedar, sea salt, and leather. So if any of those sound good to you, definitely hop in on this giveaway. And just like before, go ahead and give me a hashtag Yankee and go ahead and go. I'll go ahead and share the screen. I know I was supposed to do that first, but it's all right.
And just while everybody's jumping in there, and again, the collection is not live yet because I spaced on it. But as soon as this, give me about 15 minutes after this episode is over, and I'll have everything up, and I'll post on Instagram once it's live, and just get in there and get after it.
Yep. And then remember, use Beard Talk 15 as you can see scrolling down for 15% off.
There you go. Support the channel. How are the podcasts going?
Good.
Yeah, I cannot believe we didn't bring that up once. Man, they're going great. We're getting a ton of good feedback and just having so much fun doing it. We've been talking about if we want to bring on guests or not, and we haven't decided yet. But we're just having a blast. It's so much fun.
It's good. I mean, you guys were doing so much beard stuff. I mean, it was kind of inevitable that at some point you just kind of reach, critical mass on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to be happy with what you're doing. And,
and to still be able to do, fun nights like this, we have obviously an awesome release with you. So to be able to sprinkle that in as well and, still stay involved, in the beer community to some capacity is great too. So, but it's been great. I really think the podcast was, I kind of wish we knew before because I really think the podcast was our calling card. But at the same time, though, this was really great, a really great launching pad for the podcast too. So
do you pre-record it and then edit it together, or how does that work?
We swap each episode. We swap. So I'll edit one, and then he'll edit the next one, and vice versa.
But yeah, it's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I briefly considered doing one for Damn Yankee, and I just not there yet with it, but
yeah, it's one of those things they're fun to do, so it's almost like all or nothing type of thing, or at least that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So I've seen so many guys start podcasts and there's just 3 episodes and nothing more, and hey, to each his own, but
well, there you go.
And thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Mark's been biggest supporter.
Mark's been a big supporter. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and draw this winner. Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
If it isn't Metal Chef, I'm going to be absolutely shocked. I've never seen him not win a giveaway throughout the whole stream. It's not Philip A. We were talking about him earlier.
There you go.
Congratulations, Philip.
Philip.
He's been on a roll with me lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he won a if you guys remember a scent from last summer that I did called Pura Vida, that was the pineapple cilantro one.
Yeah.
I had one of those left from last summer that I didn't know I had, and I found it like 2-3 weeks ago. I was like, I'm just gonna give it away, and he won it, and then the post office lost it. So decided to make him another one, but.
Yeah.
Philip, don't know if you're on Instagram or not, but go ahead and if you are, shoot Pete a DM and he will take care of you.
Yeah. If you're not on Instagram, Philip, just shoot us an email. Our email address is on every single one of our videos, and we'll forward it to Pete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, including the stream in our description.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's good to see you guys again, and I like the dig the new basement starship grid. Yeah, going there.
Yeah.
I missed the memo on blue lights tonight, apparently.
I think
right.
we can all agree that Joe needs to up his game a little bit.
Right, with the blue lights. So that Nick, that is our affiliate discount code. That is good forever, brother.
Or until Pete gets sick of us.
That too. Whatever comes first.
Never gonna happen.
No. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on again. And if you have any questions, the easiest way to get me is to DM on Instagram, because it goes straight to my phone, night or day. So that's the easiest way. But so if you have any questions, hit me up, and I'll have that collection live in, let's say, 15-20 minutes.
Yeah. Cool. Do you want to answer that question really quick before we sign off? What's the scent of Damn Yankee Wash? The one that looks Rasta.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks Rasta. I'm a huge fan of reggae music. Iron Lion is, and I think some other companies have used this scent before, but it's like a birchwood oud, right? So it's kind of an amber oud kind of scent, but not. It doesn't just beat you over the head. Basically, the only reason I scented it at all is because black soap has kind of a, I don't want to say dirty, but it's kind of a smoky aroma on its own. That I just kind of wanted to throw something else in over it. I like it by itself, but birchwood oud is the scent on it, so it's kind of just generally masculine stuff.
Nice.
There you go.
There it is.
Awesome.
Pete, thank you so much for coming on, man. Truly appreciate it. Class act as always. Thank you so much for the giveaways, for coming on and doing a release with us. Guys, we will be back next week on Thursday, right, Joe?
Yes. Thursday. Actually, the next couple weeks we'll be back. We have a few special things going on this month, and Pete absolutely kicked it off in an awesome way. So right after the stream, give Pete about 15 minutes or so and jump on these 2 cents. Beer Talk 15, of course, for 15% off. And yes, every Tuesday morning, be on the lookout for a new episode of What's Going On with Kyle and Joe, our newer podcast. So go ahead and check that out.
You guys, check it out.
All right, Pete, thank you so much. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. We hope you have a wonderful night. We will see you next week. Peace.
Be safe.
Thanks a lot.